Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Talk with the Titans, live from London, UK, all the way to the US of A and worldwide. I'm your host, Kalam, and this is Talk with the Titans. You know what? We've got a phenomenal show in store for you today. We've got Team Osiris in the building, and you know what? It's going to be controversial. It's going to be real controversial because we're going to be talking about the Amon-Ra squad. Wudjau caught plagiarizing, and that's a big question mark. That's a big question mark. Surely, our icons, our idols, our scholars in the community, the Amon-Ra squad, surely they cannot be literary thieves. But you know what? That's an open question, and hopefully we can get the answers. We can get the claims put forward by Team Osiris in a hot second. So please stay tuned, because this is going to be a phenomenal show indeed. Brother Khonsu, can you give us an overview of everything that's actually been transpiring and what the presentation today is going to actually have in store for us?
Peace, Brother Kalam. It's good to hear your voice once again. I know everybody out there has been like, man, where's Kalam at? Where's Talk with the Titans? Well, the overview of this show is really about integrity. And we've had some information that has been culminating in the last few days that has created a tiff, man, an argument between people. And this is going to happen in the scholarly world. Now, what I want everyone that's watching to understand tonight is that this is about scholarship, but I want you to watch the responses. And I said this, Kalam, on Team Osiris's platform the other day, that we're coming with scholarship, and you watch the personal slander. You watch how they go outside of the paradox of this book. It has nothing to do with anyone's personal life, even though we've endured a lot of personal attacks through the last few weeks. But we're going to maintain integrity, we're going to be fair, and we're doing this in an objective manner. So tonight, it's all about clarity, it's all about consistency, and it's about empirical data. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight, Brother Kalam.
Excellent. I can't wait. I literally can't wait. You know what? It's only you guys. There's only a select few members could actually take me outside of my sabbatical, take me outside of my hibernation, to bring me back into the forefront. And I'm happy, I'm excited to be back into the forefront. Actually, we've got Lord Abba, who will be coming on next week Wednesday, to actually give a response to Shaka Ahmos's claims on the deity Allah, whether it comes from Samaria, and a whole list of other Moorish related topics that Brother Shaka Ahmos actually brought up. Now, you know what? We've actually got we've got the Team Osiris members here with us. We've got Christopher here with us, Kufu, Brother Melvin, Heru, he's here with us, Cameron is with us, Consul, of course, is here with us, and of course, you know what? Amir, formerly known as Ngozi, is with us today as well. So you know it's going to be, it's going to be crazy. So we're about to get it in. But first of all, I would like everybody to know a little bit more about Talk with the Titans. Talk with the Titans was birthed out of the idea that the intellectual giants, the titans of our community, should have a well-organized platform to present, discuss, and debate critical information affecting our community. And oh my gosh, this definitely is some critical information, and it's definitely affecting our community, because I know a lot of our brothers and sisters are into the Medunetta, into the ancient Egyptian language, the Middle Egyptian language, and onwards. And I think, you know, a lot of people have bought this book and want to know more about the contents of the book, or even are interested in the contents of this particular book by the author Wudjau Men Iri Ma'at, I believe that's his full name. And you know what, the book itself, please, I want everybody actually to support the brother regardless. Support the brother, have a look at his work. If you go into the description box right now, it will have a place right at the bottom that says Wudjau book to purchase. Okay, Wudjau's book to purchase, and the book title is A Beginner's Introduction to Medu Neter, the Ancient Egyptian Hieroglyphic System. Okay, so all the information that you're going to hear today is going to be pertaining to that particular book. Okay, so if you do want to actually purchase that book, or you know, read even the intro to that book and other related pages, you can go to Amazon and go and have a gander at it itself. Okay, so we definitely do want to support our brothers and sisters within inside of the community, but we do want to see, you know what, if they're at fault, I think they should get reprimanded. If they're not at fault, they should actually give some information to correct the misinformation. Now, a lot of our brothers and sisters have been asking whether you know what? No, let me pause right there. Let me pause right there because we're going to get into this. We're actually going to get into this. So you know what? I'm actually going to hand it over to my brother, Christopher, for him to give his presentation on, the claims, the accusations of Wudjau being a plagiarizer. And I want everybody to have their critical mind and critical eyes ready, okay? Critical mind and critical eyes ready, because I want you to be the judge. I don't want us, who is on the panel right now, Team Osiris members being on the panel, other members being on the panel. I want you guys out there who's watching us right now, you lot be the judge and let us know whether the claims definitely do stand up. And I'm definitely going to be throwing out some critical questions for our brothers and for our audience to actually think about this subject itself. So, my brother Christopher, if you've got the presentation ready, please line it up because I'm going to get you on. And everybody else who's watching right now, live with us right now, please, please, please hit the share button, and let everybody know Team Osiris, the young gods are going up against the elder gods, Amon Ra squad, and in particular, Brother Wudjau's work. So please, 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 this is going to be something that's going to be packed with information, and it's going to be a powerful show because, you know what, a lot of time we, in the community, we have our own cliques and we gangbang against each other. Hebrews gangbanging against the Kemites gangbanging against the Muslims, etc., etc. in terms of scholarship, okay? In terms of scholarship, all right? Now, I like the fact that, two, camps or groups coming from similar ideologies or coming from the same ideology are actually critiquing each other. This is actually, how can I say, healthy. It's healthy for us to not be in a sense of a groupthink, being a groupthink, we're all going along with each other. No, we should actually be critical of our own works. That way we can actually grow ourselves and not just be staying stagnant because we have a yes men all around us. Let's actually be critical of the information itself. This is Talk with the Titans, and this is what we're literally birthed out of. Being critical thinkers, giving you thought-provoking information that is going to be there to change your world and change your perspective on things. So my brother Christopher, I'm going to leave it over to you right now, and everybody else who's watching in YouTube land, please hit the share button, whether you're on Google, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you are, hit the share button and let's get it popping. All right, Chris, over to you, King.
I want to say peace, Kalam. Big ups to Team Osiris. Big ups to Team Alset. Big ups to Talk of the Titans, Titans TV. Appreciate being on the platform. Let's get into it. Really quick, I just want to show a few things just so I don't want anyone accusing, well, you guys are critiquing something that you haven't read. This is James P. Allen's book, the most updated version of that book. James P. Allen, Middle Egyptian, An Introduction to the Language and Culture of Hieroglyphs. You have Seshu Medunedra, Inscription of Divine Words, Beginner's Introduction to Medunedra, the Ancient Egyptian Hieroglyphic System by Wudjau Min Ib Iri Ma'at. I'm going to share my screen for a second. All right, I'm going right into the presentation after this. You can see that I have purchased this book April 2nd, 2015. All right, so okay, so here we go. On the left, we have Middle Egyptian, An Introduction to Language and Culture of Hieroglyphs by James P. Allen, 3rd edition. We have Sesh Medunedra, Inscriptions of Divine Words, A Beginner's Introduction to Medunedra, the Ancient Egyptian Hieroglyphic System by Wudjau Min Ib Iri Ma'at. Now we have James P. Allen, Middle Egyptian, An Introduction to the Language and Culture of Hieroglyphs, 2nd edition by James P. Allen. This is the back cover of Wudjau's book. When I say something to the audience, James P. Allen's book, there's actually 3 editions to it. You have the 1st edition, 2000. ISBN number is 0521653112-6 for the paperback. 0521774837 for the hard copy. 2nd edition came out 2010. The ISBN number for that is 9780521-51796-6. For the hardback, you have 9780521-74144-6. Third edition, 2014, ISBN 97811070534-9 for the paperback. And for the hard cover, you have 978-110766328-2. All right, that'll be very important later on in this discussion. Okay, so we have Wudjau's preface to his book. This book is a result of fulfilling the need for study materials to help facilitate beginners who were newly introduced to the ancient Egyptian culture and language. I was invited to participate in group discussions related to comparative religious studies between Abrahamic belief systems and African philosophy. Ancient Egypt became the primary focus in regard to African philosophy, and what started out as casual discussions on Egyptian culture in general turned into a focus on language. The increasing interest in the Egyptian language led to consistent study groups where there was a need to collect information from the various sources and consolidate it in such a way for beginners to understand. Taking a more serious approach to the study, it became necessary to structure a curriculum and schedule to accommodate those who were interested. This ultimately led up to the need for a textbook of some sort in which to use as a guide for the study. Now, this is Wudjau's own words. This is his preface to his book. Atlanta, Georgia, March 2015. Now, as you can see, that Wudjau's book was published after all editions of James P. Allen's books, which in his book he references the second edition. But what I found, I'm going through the third edition and the second edition, that both things can be found word for word within both editions. So if you have either or editions and you have Wudjau's book, you can follow along with this presentation. So these are his references. You don't see any page numbers, no footnotes, whatever. But here it goes. James P. Allen, 2010. You have Rakiti Amin, 2010. Sheikh Anta Diop, 1997. Gunter Dreyer, 1998. Raymond Faulkner, his Concise Dictionary. You have Sir Alan Gardner with his Egyptian Grammar. You have Joseph Greenberg, The Language of Africa. You have James E. Hawke, which wrote a Middle Egyptian Grammar. Jean-Claude Mboli with his linguistic reconstruction of African languages and their categories and phylums, as I would say, and that work is available in French. Akhmi Ra, who wrote a wonderful grammar, may the ancestor rest in peace. Levi-Strauss, 1963. Mark Vigas, which is an online digital dictionary. You have African Humanities, 2016. United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, 1974. But what you see on this is exactly what you see in the book. Bibliography. Well, again, what you see from here, there is no more. Bibliography. Amin Raketi, Majid Wifa, Conversation of Phrase Book, 2013. E.A. Wallace Budge, 1978.
They see it, King. They see it, King. Keep it flowing.
An Egyptian Hieroglyphic Dictionary. E.A. Wallace Budge is 2-volume dictionary. W.V. Davies, 1987, Egyptian Hieroglyphs. Adolf Ehrman, the Walter Bush Dictionary, which is very special because there's only one definitive dictionary in ancient Egyptian in its whole lexicon, and that is the Walter Bush Dictionary, created by the German Adolf Ehrman and Greppo Hermann. And this dictionary covers from Old Kingdom to all the way up until right before Coptic. It's in, I believe, 5 volumes, but it has 7 volumes of references and things like that. You have Fisher, 1979, Ancient Egyptian Calligraphy. You have Asar Imhotep, Passion of the Christ, or Passion of Osiris. The Congo Origins of Jesus Myth, Mocha University Press. 2012, Egypt in its African Context, towards Method for Vocalizing Meta-Netter Symbols, again by Asar Imhotep. 2010, Reinterpretations of an Ankh Symbol, Emblem of a Master Teacher. Imhotep. A reinterpretation of the Ensemble Part 2 by the same individual. Bacala of North America, The Living Sons, Vitality, In Search of Meaningful Name for African Americans, again by the same individual. Esodus, in 2008, Internal Reflections in Conversations with the Sun, Mocha University, again. Another by Imhotep. Aluja, 2013, Rescue, Reinterpretation, and Restoration of Major Ancient Egyptian Themes, Mocha University. You have Miriam Litcham's 1973, 1976, 1980, The Literature of Ancient Egypt, which is within 3 volumes. Mark Jan Philogog, Software and Sign Lists, Nidarov. I guess that will be like an equivalent for J. Sesh. You have Theophilo Binga, African Philosophy of the Pharaonic Period. And you have Richard Wilkinson, Reading Ancient Egyptian Art, and Thames and Hudson. Okay, so Indian University of Bloomington, How to Recognize Plagiarism. Original source material. Technology has significantly transformed education at several major turning points in our history. In the broadest sense, the first technology was the primitive modes of communication used by prehistoric people before the development of spoken language. Mime, gestures, grunts, and drawing of figures in the sand with a stick were methods used to communicate. Yes, even to educate. Even without speech, these prehistoric people were able to teach their young how to catch animals for food, what animals to avoid, which vegetation was good to eat, and which was poisonous. Source: Frick, T. Frick, 1991, Restructuring Education Through Technology. Now, these are the wrong way to do it, the right way to do it. We're going to start with the plagiarized version. In examining technology, we have to remember that computers are not the first technology people have had to deal with. The first technology was the primitive modes of communication used by prehistoric peoples before the development of spoken language. Now, this is the correct version of how you would cite that source or reference it. In examining technology, we have to remember that computers are not the first technology people have had to deal with. Frick, 1991, believes that, parentheses, the first technology was the primitive modes of communication used by prehistoric people before the development of spoken language. Page 10. Reference: Frick T, 1991, Reconstructing Education Through Technology, Bloomington, Indiana, and this is the Phi Delta Kappa Educational Foundation. Explanation for these. The I'm sorry, you're going to have to go back. Apologize for that. Apologize for that. Explanation for the plagiarized version. This version is word-for-word plagiarism. The student copied word for word text from the original source material. No credit was given to the author of the text, and quotation marks were not used. Also, the student did not provide the full in-text citation and reference. Explanation for the correct version. Note in this example that the quoted passage begins with the author and the year of the publication. In text citation, quotation marks are used to indicate that this passage is a word-for-word quotation from the original document. The full in-text citation also includes the page number of the passage quoted, the locator. The full bibliographic reference tells the reader where the source of the quotation can be found. So the reader can go back and check those sources himself and doesn't have to just believe the book that he's reading. Next, Egyptian hieroglyphs. This was a page this guy had created. He had graduated from university as an Egyptologist. He created a web page. He threw out some accusations that had been found, and some others have explained it away. That's okay, but just showing this for the audience that's not aware to catch up so no one's lost in this dialogue. This is July 24th, 2013. I just discovered a site copied a large portion of my content. Here's a blog post about it. Someone out there likes me well enough to scrape my content. Beware of Medinetra.com. And that happens to be the same website that's ran by the individual known as Wudjau. Now, above, this is what the individual said that he had found on Wudjau's website at the time. This is a screenshot, screening of stolen content, P8P9. This is the original individual's content on his page. He even said that where he did not put the dots at, which he meant to, but he didn't, it was copied word for word, all of this. You know, but it may have gotten dismissed in the past, that's okay. But this is a screenshot of Wudjau's current book. Now you can see the correction on this side, but still the whole layout still looks very similar to the accusations of what occurred in the past. And I can say this, that Allen and Gardner, the sign list and things are not laid out in this manner, you know, so I'll leave that at that. I'm not going to speculate. Now here we go. James P. Allen, page 29. Now mind you, again, doesn't matter if you have the 3rd edition or the 2nd edition, which he had copied by. I've looked in both, and these are found in both. So if you have these copies of these books, you can actually follow along. PDF also, although the PDF numbers will be very different, they tend to be, the PDF tends to have more page numbers than the actual books. Now, James P. Allen, page 29. The rebus principle is not limited to single consonants. In an English rebus, we might use the picture of a leaf to write not only the word leaf, but also the second syllable of the word bee-leaf. You see the symbol for bee and leaf, bee-leaf. If we ignore the vowels, we could use the same sign, leaf, to write the words life, LF, laugh, just the sound of laugh, loaf, also elf, LF as well. In doing so, we would be using leaf to represent 2 consonants, L plus F. In the hieroglyphic system, such signs are known as biliteral, 2-letter. An example is a picture of a tree branch, which was used as a biliteral sign. This is a hard H and a T sound. I'm not going to pronounce these because if I pronounce them, then you're just using European Egyptological speak. And that is just inserting E between these letters. From the Egyptian word, I'm just going to say hard H-I-T or hard H-U-T, wood. Now this is Wudjau's page 90. You can actually see this side by side here. The principle is not limited to single consonants. In an English rebus, we might use the picture of a leaf to write not only the word leaf, but also the second syllable of the word bee-leaf. As again I said before on the other side, bee-leaf. If we ignore the vowels, we could use the same sign, leaf, to write the words life, laugh, loaf, and elf as well. You actually see that here, life, laugh, loaf, elf as well. And all of this was word for word. In doing so, we would be using leaf. In doing so, we would be using leaf to represent 2 consonants, L plus F. L plus F, you see that here. In the hieroglyphic system, such signs are known as biliteral, 2-letter. Biliteral, 2-letter. An example is the picture of a tree branch. See that here. Which was used as a biliteral sign for, which again, I gave the explanation of why I would not pronounce them, because they are not historical pronunciations and are just conventions for Egyptologists to be able to speak these in a verbal dialogue. Now this is the actual page of Wudjau's that's quoted, page 90. Now you don't see any quotation marks. You don't see James P. Allen's name mentioned. You don't see any reference to the actual page where it was taken, nor do you see any footnotes. Next, James P. Allen. Now this is on 2 pages, and it's on 2 pages also on Wudjau's. So James P. Allen, pages 8 and 9. Coptic, the Egyptians who adopted Christianity. After the 1st century AD began to translate the sacred scriptures of this new religion into their own language, but they were reluctant to use the Demotic script for that purpose because of its association with the older pagan religion. Instead, they wrote their sacred text in the letters of the Greek alphabet. This script is called Coptic, the same term used for the Egyptian branch of Christianity. The Coptic alphabet has 32 letters, 24 taken from Greek, 7 for sounds that Egyptian had but Greek did not, and 1 monogram, 1 letter standing for 2, which would be biliterals. Here is an example of Coptic writing with the words separated in its equivalent in English letters. Now you can see the Coptic here. Wudjau's page, it's on the next page, so you're going to see it, but keep that in mind. You're going to see this too. But let me read this, and you're going to see how what I'm reading on the right is an exact copy of what is on the left. Wudjau, page 28 through 29. Coptic. The Egyptians who adopted Christianity after the 1st century AD began to translate the sacred scripture of this new religion into their own language. But they were reluctant to use the Demotic script for this purpose because of its association with the older pagan religion. Instead, they wrote their sacred text in the letters of the Greek alphabet. This script is called Coptic, the same term used for the Egyptian branch of Christianity. The Coptic alphabet has 32 letters, 24 taken from the Greek, 7 for sounds that Egyptian had but Greek did not, and 1 monogram, 1 letter standing for 2, again by literals. Here is an example of Coptic writing with the word separated and its equivalent in English letters. Here is a sample of Coptic writing with the word separated and its equivalent in English letters on James P. Allen's side. So this is copied word for word. This is not my opinion, but this is only my observation of actually thoroughly reading both books. Reading Wudjau's book, reading James P. Allen's 2nd and 3rd edition. Now, you can actually... Yeah, that's like deeper. This is straight, not, I apologize, Kufu, but I mean, it's plagiarism and to its fullest. I mean, it's almost as if it was copy and pasted. You know what I'm saying? And this is just being honest.
Briefly just show how it's the whole paragraph, and because they already get the point. You know what I'm saying? You definitely showed and proved 7 times. I don't know how many words is in that last paragraph. So that's right there is just simply enough. But let's just show them all, and then so, you know, appreciate you, man. Go ahead, continue.
Okay, cool. Thank you for that, brother Kufi. Kufu, I'm sorry, brother Kufu. So we have again on the last slide you had James P. Allen was able to show the Coptic. Now you can go back, but this is the same Coptic because you can even see here in its transliteration, you see that it's word for word. Now I'm gonna do what my good brother you know, gave a great example to do. James P. Allen, this will be page 9 now. These are the first words of the Christian Lord's Prayer. Our Father who is in the skies, may your name be holy. Now, James P. Allen, at least for more in the Coptic alphabet, he gives you a reference to go back and see. This is what Wudjau did. These are the first words of the Christian Lord's Prayer. Our Father who is in the skies, may your name be holy. And it just stops. He doesn't tell you where that can be found at, doesn't give a reference for where that's found at. Okay? All right. Now, we're going to do the 7, you know, show 7 and how it's more. James P. Allen, page 9. Like Demotic, the term Coptic refers to a phase of the Egyptian language as well as a system of writing. Like Demotic, the term Coptic refers, and this is Wudjau now, like Demotic, the term Coptic refers to a division of the Egyptian language as well as a system of writing. Now, let me go back. As Egypt became increasingly Christian, the older writing system were relegated to the texts and symbols of the old religion. By the end of the 5th century AD, Coptic had become the only means of writing Egyptian for secular and religious Christian texts alike. It remained in use until the death of the language itself, some 6 centuries later. As Egypt became increasingly Christian, the older writing systems were relegated to the texts and symbols of the old religion. By the end of the 5th century AD, we're already past that 7 mark, and that's just on what I'm saying now on Wudjau's thing, and not what I even just said before prior to James P. Allen's. By the end of the 5th century AD, Coptic had become the only means of writing Egyptian for secular and religious Christian texts alike. It remained in use until 6 centuries later, which it had cut off on that point. Now, this is the correct way which that should have been referenced if it were done properly. Allen, 2014, stated that these are the first words of the Christian Lord's Prayer. Our Father who is in the skies, may your name be holy. Like Demotic, the term Coptic refers to a division of the Egyptian language as well as a system of writing. As Egypt became increasingly Christian, the older writing systems were relegated to the texts and temples of the old religion. By the end of the 5th century AD, Coptic had become the only means of writing Egyptian. For secular and religious, in parentheses, Christian texts alike, it remained in use until the death of the language itself some 6 centuries later. Page 9. That's how you would correctly reference that. Now this is Wudjau's whole thing. Mind you, I said it got cut off, but you can see here on the right side, it remained in use until the death of the language itself, some 6 centuries later. Exactly what James P. Allen had put in his book. Not my opinion, just, observation. James P. Allen, page 33. Triliteral signs. In addition to uniliteral and biliteral phonograms, there are also hieroglyphic signs that represent 3 consonants. These are called triliteral 3-letter signs. Like biliteral, triliteral signs triliteral signs were often written with phonetic complements to spell out all or part of the value. Now let me count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. It's over 30, probably 35. I just stopped at 30. In addition to monoliteral and biliteral phonograms, 3 signs representing a combination of 3 consonants. Now he threw in combination that represent 3 consonants, representing a combination of 3 consonants. You can't just throw in one word and it just changes what you're copying. These are called, because you did that after the 7 mark. So you already passed 7 before you threw the combination. These are called triliteral 3-letter signs. Like biliteral, triliteral signs were often accompanied with phonetic complements to spell out all or part of the value. Like biliteral, triliteral, and this is back to James P. Allen. Like biliteral, triliteral signs were often written with phonetic complements to spell out all or part of the value, or of their value, which is clearly that on both sides. This is Wudjau's whole page. Funny is, it looks like there's references at the bottom, but he's only giving more detail of the hieroglyphs that are shown within that page. So again, if anybody has Wudjau's work, you have James P. Allen's work. If you have the 2nd edition, which this work claimed to use, but again, also in the 3rd edition, still found word for word. PDF also, although the page numbers may be different for the PDFs, but if you have this, you can actually follow along with this presentation slideshow, so you can let the evidence prove itself to you. So there's no speculation, just observation. James P. Allen, page 82. The first part of the tutelary is known as the Horus name. It is the oldest of the 5 names and consists of 3 elements. 1, a falcon perched on a schematic rendering of the archaic palace, within which the king's name, the falcon, is emblematic of Horus. The god of kingship, the schematic palace, is known as the Seret. Its lower part represents the niche facet of early mud brick palaces. Now this is Wudjau, and that's James P. Allen, page 82. Wudjau, page 158. The first part of the tutelary is also known as the Heru, and all he did was gave the transliteration of the Medu Neter, and instead of a Horus, he would have given not the correct way to say it, but a more correct way than the Greek Horus. So the first name of the tutelary is known as the Heru name. It is the oldest of the 5 names and consists of 3 elements: a falcon perched on a schematic rendering of the archaic palace, within which is the king's name. That's already 7 right there. The schematic palace is also known as a Seret, from the word in its lower part. And again, in James P. Allen also says his lower part, so it's way beyond 7 at this point. His lower part represents the niched facet. And all he did was, after niche facet, paneling that adorn the outer, which in James P. Allen, niche facet of early mud brick palaces. You can't just throw in a little bit like that and it changes a sentence. And this is just observation and, just being honest about, the work.
So, my brother, so what you're saying right now, let me actually just cut in real quickly. So what you're saying basically is our brother Wudjau has literally, cut and pasted, other authors' works and placed it directly into his book, without actually giving any credence, giving any citations, giving any references to that, to actually insinuate that he's getting it from elsewhere. Are you saying that he's purposefully passing off other people's works as his own?
I can't personally say what his intentions are, as I don't personally know the brother. But what I can see is from when I read the book and from the evidence that from reading it, let's say if you were not familiar with James P. Allen, besides the references that he gave in the beginning, you would think that all this being said is his actual. You would think that it is his own words, which it is not.
That's true. Okay. So I want to know now, because yesterday I actually, this morning, I actually watched a response by Brother Wudjau on these particular incidences here, where it's talking about, the quotation marks, the references, and so forth, are currently in a second edition, and it was a mistake that he spotted. And in the current state of the first edition, he would, I believe, he raised his hands up to say that, it would be classified as plagiarism. Is that correct?
Yes, brother.
Okay. So I want to know, because obviously our audience members who may not have seen this presentation that you did prior, we're going through this presentation again for their benefit, for those people who have not actually seen this particular presentation. I want to know your response as we've gotten this presentation out of the way, as we've shown, categorically there is clear evidence of numerous places, 7, 8 different places that you've shown so far, where direct quotes and small word changes has taken place with inside of Wudjau's book in comparison to other people's books. He's taking other people's work and putting it in there. I want to know, based upon his response yesterday. He issued a response yesterday. What are your responses to the claims that he has made in the terms of, fair enough, I put my hands up that, it will be classified as plagiarism because, I haven't referenced the book correctly, but I've spotted the mistake. I've I've seen that it's not referenced, and I have now referenced the books. What is your what is your take on that? Because a lot of people in the chat rooms, etc., are saying, well, that's all in the first edition. How about the second edition? So I want to know, what is your response, to his response yesterday?
I'll make it quick, and so we can continue to move. And this is just straight honest. Like, this is what it is. What it is. My response to what he had to say yesterday is that why is it taking now for you to bring this out to the public? The book is still being sold. First edition is still being sold to people, and it's not being corrected. And people that haven't read James P. Allen's work, they wouldn't know that they're in possession of stolen property. And that I'm just going to leave it at that, and not just leave it at that.
Okay. So, real quickly, I just want to, because I want to get a feel from everybody else on the panel. Were you happy with the response that Brother Wudjau actually delivered yesterday? Were you actually happy? Because I don't know how our audience members are actually taking it. I want to actually hold a polling to know whether our audience members actually believe, based on the information that you've presented in the past and based on the information that you presented today, was that book a plagiarism? That's what I want to know. Like, I want to know that, from our audience members, please let me know in the comment section down below, was Wudjau's book a plagiarism? And Team Osiris members, was it a plagiarism? I want to know, were you happy with the responses that you actually received yesterday from Brother Wudjau? Because I want to know, I want to know, because a lot of people, I'm assuming, done the pre-order to the book. The book, I assume, came out in March. I believe it says the 24th of March. The book came out. I spoke to the Brother Wudjau previously, He was promoting the book and showing the book, his upcoming book on even Talk with the Titans. So I'm pretty sure there was pre-order books that was going through and order books that was going through. So I want to know, you know, as a holder of one of these books, as a holder of this so-called first edition book, what are your thoughts? Is it plagiarism? Are you happy with the contents of the book? Are you, you know what, does it change your mind towards the author that hasn't actually referenced the book and has purely passed off? Because if I'm reading this book for the first time, I'm believing that the contents of this book is purely written by this author, you know, yet to find out that it's actually not written by this author, it's actually taken from somebody else. So I want to know from our audience members, please leave me your comments down below in the comment section, and I want to know from Team Osiris, what are your thoughts?
Personally, me, I'm not upset. I'm disappointed. Because this is a person when I had, you know, first got into the Imaginary things like that, I had looked up to. I had thought this person had, and this person does have great skills when it comes to you know, Imaginary and things like that. So I'm not taking that away from the individual, but disappointed as someone that used to look up to this individual, that, you know, would you know, people always talk about microwave scholarship. You know, you guys are rushing, you know, you're not taking your time. And for me to have bought a book for over a year, I had promoted it, gave rave reviews, I had told other people, you know, get the book. And then later, after reading James P. Allen, to find out that a lot of material was taken word for word out of the book. And the fact that this is just a beginner's book and James P. Allen's book is literally the equivalent to a university course in Middle Egyptian. Disappointed big time, but more so disappointed for the other individuals out there that may not have access to certain works or sources that I have, that have led me to be able to figure this out, if that's the best way that I can put it.
Okay, thank you. I want somebody else on the panel to actually give me their perspective. Okay. Anybody else on the panel that wants to give me your perspective? Also, if you are, you know what, if you actually do possess the books by our brother Wudjau, and you would like to have the link sent to you, if you would like to have the link sent to you, please message me down below in the comment section, or message me on Facebook, and I will definitely inbox you the link. And you know what, we can actually have a conversation about this, because I definitely do want to have a conversation. I definitely do want to hear varied perspectives on this situation itself. In terms of, I actually want to hear from my brother Wudjau. I actually want to hear from my brother Wudjau, because I don't like the fact that we're not getting both sides of the story, you know, on air live at the same time. I want that to take place. I don't really want there to be one video and then the next video and the next video. I want to see that there is, you know, these two sides, these two camps, these two individuals, or whoever the case is, are actually bring up the information present to you right now in the here and the now, and you, our audience members, okay? I believe our audience members are very intelligent individuals, and they can judge between the BS and they can judge between, you know, the facts. I personally want to let the facts speak for themselves, and I want both sides of the arguments to be weighed up correctly, okay? Now, I hear everybody screaming out there is a second edition. Everybody who's screaming out right now that there is a second edition, I want to know, have you got a copy of that second edition? If you have a copy of the second edition, please message me down below in the comment section to say, yes, I do have, you know what, the second edition with me. Please tell me you have the second edition with me, and I would like to come on to the panel. Please let me know. Let me know that you have the second edition and you would like to come on to the panel. I'm reading your comments right now. I see you, Carbon Nebti Ankt. I see you, MBK. I see you guys. I see you guys. So please let me know within inside of the comment section if you have the second edition. Because I watched that show yesterday, and there was a claim that there was a second edition, and I personally haven't I don't know anybody who has got a second edition, so I want to know. I want to know from our audience members. You guys can actually clarify all of this for us. For those people who has bought our brother Wudjau's book recently, show us the second edition, show us the corrections, and let the truth speak for itself. Okay, let the truth speak for itself. So I want to continue this. I want to bring this back over to Team Osiris to continue their presentation, but I want this to be not even a two-way dialogue. I want this to be a three-way dialogue where myself, yourself, Team Osiris, and our audience members are being able to interact with each other. This is exactly what Talk with the Titans aims and objectives are. Is to actually get our Titans to actually communicate and come to the level of our audience members, and our audience members can actually question them as well. So if you have any burning questions, please leave them in the comment section down below. And you can also visit us on our Talk with the Titans group page, where all of our Titans are actually in there. We've got Amun-Ra Squad, we've got Team Osiris, we've got brothers like Polite, we've got brothers like Lord Abba, and everybody is actually in there. So please join us and actually ask any questions that you would like. I've seen my brother Nitir Neb here. The first edition was plagiarized, but Wudjau did say he corrected the second edition. The first edition should be off the market. I want to know, is the first edition actually off the market? That's my question right now. Is the first edition off the market, and is the second edition out for sale right now? Let us know, people.
All right. What's up, Kalam?
Peace.
Peace, man. It's Brother Concert. Yeah, let me know when we're ready to talk, when it's time to talk.
I'm ready. I'm ready, my brother. Please, let us know. Let us know.
All right, man. We had the presentation. We showed the copies. Let me show some empirical data. This is about something that's observational. Literally 2 days ago, maybe 3, we did a show about this. We actually gave Brother Wudjau credit, just like you letting everybody know they can purchase the brother book on your page. Free advertising. We let them know that, yes, Wudjau does a great job teaching Medu-Netta. This has nothing to do with that. We're talking about intellectual integrity. Now, what I'm going to show, and I said this in the last show that we did on our Team Osiris, Brother Kalam, I said, I want you to watch the reaction. I want you to watch the personal slander and not stand within the context of what we're talking about, because people want to monopolize the situation. But see, Team Osiris, we knew this was coming. And I'm not going to go through a long diatribe, but this is what we did. And I'm going to share my screen, Brother Kalam, if I may. May I please do that? Is that okay? Okay. Is that cool? All right. So I'm going to share my screen here. Can somebody let me know if they see my screen?
Yeah, we see it. We see it, King.
All right, great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to minimize this right here. This right here, we did this months ago. Team Osiris, Black Flag Movement, because we knew it was a problem. We knew that people are monopolizing information that's already free and telling people they can't have a free mind. We knew that. And we knew we had to be accountable too, because we partake in this community. And a lot of venues made us known. So we had to have integrity as well. So we had to create a vision to say, wait a minute, we got to start being critical thinkers. Now, those of you who follow Facebook know that this, what we're talking about today, it's not some random thought. We already knew that we had to be committed to our own information and being critical readers and critical thinkers. We did an episode on critical reading in regards to this. Here's the next one, because I told you that slander was coming. This is live going on right now. The origin of the hate of Scheme Osiris. Why are you calling us Scheme Osiris? And that's not how you spell it, by the way. It's S-C-H-E-M-E. I made a comment to one of the members, whenever you're ready, we can have a live spelling test, because you don't spell scheme like that. And this is live, going on as we're talking right now. And I took the picture because we offered, Kalam is here live, he offered these people to come on this platform, be respectful, and let's give the audience what they want to hear, which is dialogue that will elevate everybody. We'll all learn, because we're never going to say that I'm and Rock Squad is a bunch of idiots or some fools. Would never disrespect them like that. But we're Scheme Osiris. Okay? But I told you this was going to happen. So I just want to show empirical data. And this show was done purposely while we're doing this show. Because they were invited yesterday. The host of the show validates that. They were invited yesterday. Is that correct, Brother Kalam? Or early this morning? When were they invited?
Yep. Would you like me to? Would you like me to?
Yeah. Could you reply?
Would you like me to what? Read out the invite?
Yes, sir. Could you please?
Oh, okay. Indeed. Yeah, for everybody else out there who don't know, I have indeed actually invited our brother Wudjau onto the show. I always try my very best to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to actually respond to any claims that are actually made on the show. If anybody's speaking about anybody else on the show, I do try my very best to highlight that and actually be open and transparent with our Titans, because I like to keep a good relationship with our Titans. So this was yesterday, Thursday, right? Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday was no. Where are we?
Oh, today is Thursday. Yesterday was Wednesday.
Okay. So I have it here. Okay, this is 2 o'clock in the morning my time. Actually, let me share my screen. Let me actually share my screen. That will actually be best for everybody else to see, for the sake of transparency. Okay. So I don't know if you could see my screen, but over here, I actually messaged my brother Wudjau. This is Thursday, 2:13 a.m., which would technically be about 5 hours behind. So you lot are 5 hours behind me. So that would technically be about 9 p.m. last night, Eastern Standard Time. I messaged my brother Peace King. I hope all is well with you. Team Osiris will be presenting tomorrow on Talk with the Titans, 18th of the 8th. 2016 at 6 p.m. EST. On the contents of your publication, I thought it would only be right and responsible, only be right and responsible of me to bring this to your attention and give you the ability to respond, clarify, and answer any questions that may be raised about your publication. Please let me know as soon as possible if you would like the Hangouts link to be sent to you as to address any concerns after their presentation. Also, it could act as a great opportunity to drive sales, gain exposure, and clear up any misunderstandings. Kind regards. So for everybody else out there, the invite was definitely sent to the brother Wudjau. I don't know if you would like for me to read out the response. He definitely did respond to me this morning, Thursday, 11:34. He responded to me. I don't know if you want me to read out that response. I don't even know if I have the permission to read out his response to me. But I'm going to just paraphrase his response. I don't like actually reading out people's communications without actually having their permission to actually read out, private. I don't know. It's kind of private to actually read out somebody's stuff. But he basically, gave thanks. Thank me for basically giving him the invite to come on to the show. He basically stated that there were several messages and memes going on and shows going on about him. He basically said he appreciated the offering and bringing yet another future hangout. This will be the third to my attention. Respect for that. You've done what others should have done prior to any silliness. Okay. So basically, that was his. I paraphrased it because I don't really want to read out exactly what he said to me. I also gave him another invite today. Basically, Peace King, here's the link to tonight's show. If you ever change your mind, please do not share it with others, as I'm only extending the courtesy to you to be on the panel before the show starts. And I definitely did send out the link for him to be on the panel and the YouTube link. But of course, he won't be attending today. I do not believe he will be attending. I hope he would actually attend. I know he's currently on Amun-Ra Squad having another show to actually be preemptive of this particular show. But I definitely would have loved for him to actually be on the show today and actually, answer any things that is actually raised today. I actually wish that would have happened, but I guess not. So anyway, I'm rambling. Please, continue the show. This is your show. I don't even want to tell it from my perspective. Go ahead.
See, it's all good because, see, You're doing the show in the midst of us doing the show, and we invited you. So listening audience, I want you to be clear that. So now we're going to get into the second edition, but I want to show something else here. I'm going to share my screen once again, because it's all about empirical data. Sometimes you need empirical data because you don't want to show biases. Now, if we look right here, we see a beginner's introduction to Meta-Neter, the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphic system that's in paperback, March 24, 2015. And it's by Wudjau Min Ib Ma'at. Okay? And it's selling on paperback right now. This is live. $49.25. All right? Now, this book here, it was told he had a second edition. But this book right here is showing, if we look, bottom of the page, copyrighted material, right? Let's go to the next page. It says copyright 2015, Wudjau Min Ib Ma'at, all rights reserved. Now, this says first edition that is still on sale online. Well, where's the second edition? So you're still selling the first edition in which you admitted you made mistakes because you're new at this. And then you said you copywritten it in 2015, and your second edition was copywritten in 2016. But you're still selling it on Amazon, the first copy. I believe a brother asked, is it still being sold? Well, there it is. And I'm going to go a little bit farther. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to call Amazon live. And I'm going to ask them, is this particular book available? So bear with me one second. Is this book available? Is the second edition available? Let's see. Hold on. Bear with me, everybody, please. I got glasses on. Hold on one second. Let me know if you can hear the phone ringing.
Customer service. This call may be recorded for quality assurance.
Can you hear that, Kalam?
Ordered tracking, delivery, or return.
Yep, I can hear it. I can hear it.
For help about Prime or for questions about the Amazon Prime membership charge, press 2. For problems signing in, press 3. For problems with your MP3 purchase or download, press 4. For help with your Kindle device, to help us assist you as quickly as possible, please have your order number ready. We will connect you to the next available agent. Thank you for holding. We'll be with you as soon as possible. Note that answers to common questions may be found on the help pages of our retail website, and you may always email us by following the Contact Us links on the website.
Okay, whilst we're waiting for that to actually come up, I would like for our
More of a do-it-yourself person, you can track your orders or manage your...
Sorry, Kalam.
Yes. It's okay. It's okay. I would like our audience members to write any questions. If you've got any questions right now, please leave your questions down below in the comment section. Okay? Leave your questions down below.
Hello, sir.
Right
Hold on
now.
1 second. Hold on. Hello, sir. My name is Albert. I'm looking for a particular edition of a book that you have available online. I'm looking for the second edition.
Okay, have you checked online to see if we have that in stock?
Well, I looked on the website, and it just says first edition. I do have the ISBN number. I'm just looking for the second edition.
Okay, have you checked with any of the vendors that are on the website to see if they have the answer?
No, I haven't. I just want to know if it's... So if the first edition is still here, so that's still for sale if it's on your website?
We do have books that are on the website for sale and some for rent.
Can I give you this book to see if the first edition is for sale, and maybe you may see the second edition as well?
Okay, go ahead.
The name of the book is, do you need the name or the ISBN number? What do you need?
The SIN number. Can you go ahead for the SIN number, please?
The ISBN number? Okay. It's 978-069-241-1407.
Okay. I'm seeing a beginner's introduction to. This is me. Is this correct? Okay. So this is a book about ancient Egyptian system. Am I correct?
Yes, it is. And who's the author?
Stuff here. Okay, I'm seeing a name here spelled M-E-D-W, and the last name is spelled N-E-T-H-E-R. Is that correct?
No, that's the title of the book. I was looking for the author, and I wanted to know if you had, is this book a first edition, or is it a second edition?
Okay, just seeing a beginner here, I'm not really seeing an addition to say that this is the first or second. Okay. Do you know the specific name of the second edition for this book?
Well, it's the same book, and the author apparently have written a second edition. I see on the website it says first edition for 40-25, so I'm looking for the second edition. Because when I preview the book, it says first edition, so I'm looking for the second edition of the same book. Are you still there, sir?
Trying to see if I can actually find the second edition because based on what I'm seeing here, they won't be showing the display of the preview of the book, and then there's several different books that are either from this author or authors that are similar, or any books that are similar to this.
Oh, I see.
Anything that's specific for this.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So, Kalam, I want to show some other things because that's obvious. Okay? He can't find any other books, only books that are similar to this. I called Amazon directly because it was stated that the other book is for sale and that he revised it January 5th of 2016. So a question that I pose, and I won't answer yet, is if you uploaded the second edition on January 5th, 2016, why hasn't it changed on Amazon.com? Why is the first edition still being sold for $49.25? So let me go to this right here.
So, you know what I really would like to know, Konsu? Konsu, what I really would like to know, you know, I want to know, is there a second edition actually in print for our audience members to actually buy? Because I really don't want them to actually go out there. You know, I'm actually promoting his book at the same time, and I definitely do want them to purchase the book, but I don't want them to actually have the version that is not up to date. So I want to know, is there a second edition out for print? I hope, I really would love for Wudjau to actually clarify this. Hopefully, I know they are actually listening to this, you know, elsewhere. I just want to know, please let us know, is there a second edition out on print right now that our audience members can actually purchase, because I definitely do want our audience members to actually have their own mind, to actually read even the first edition and the second edition. But I definitely do want there to be a second edition available for people to actually see, read for themselves, and actually make up their own mind. So brothers, if you are an Amon Ra squad right now and you are listening in, is there a second edition? Is there a second edition out for sale right now in print that other people have previously purchased or can now purchase? Okay, that's what I would like for everybody to know. Sister Car Bar Nebt Unct, there is one. Our brother Wudjau cleared that up last night. So right now there is only one copy, one edition out for print, according to Car Bar Nebti Unct, that our brother Wudjau said yesterday. I'm not going to take that for gospel, because I definitely do want to hear it from the horse's mouth, but that is a slight indication. So I want to know, I really want to know that, you know, if this information has been checked, has been changed, has been altered, and he has actually got a physical copy, why isn't there a second copy out for sale for everybody else? That's kind of like my question that I definitely do really want to know. But apart from that, I want to know from Team Osiris itself. We're going to go back into you, Consu, my brother. But I want to know, our brother has actually, you know, put his hands up. He stated, yes, indeed, I have accidentally plagiarized. Okay, I have plagiarized, but it's an accidental plagiarism, and I've made a concentrated effort to actually fix that problem. I want to know, is there a problem with that? Is you know what, our brother's actually admitted there is a fault. He's seen that there is something that can be misconstrued as plagiarism. In fact, no, I can't say misconstrued. It is plagiarism, because if I turn that in at university level, if I turn that in via university level, we have something called a turn-in system, and it will alert straight away. That first edition will alert it straight away. Ding, 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 ding. How much percentage is coming from other sources, where those other sources are, and it would come up as plagiarism. Whether I accidentally did it or purposely did it, it will come up as plagiarism. So plagiarism is plagiarism. But for my brother's defense, it is accidentally done. My brother has stated before, he was rushing to a degree and focusing on the graphics side of things, because he's a graphic man with heck of multimedia. So I want to know, you know, is it okay for our brother to literally say that, you know what, I put my hands up, it's plagiarism, but I accidentally plagiarized, and I have done my efforts to actually to alter, change that situation. You know what, this is my app. If I've done a little bit of isfet, if I've done a little bit of wrong, I've done a mistake, I'm going to try my very best to actually, you know, alter the scales, alter the weight on the scales, and actually put forward a good work and actually change it and let everybody know that I've changed it. Is my brother right for doing that?
Let me ask you a question, Brother Kalam. Could you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
If you didn't warn the people before you wrote the book and say that I made a book and it's plagiarized, how genuine are you? How do you feel about that? When you put out the book, did you warn the people on the book, hey, I plagiarized a little bit? Why did it take why did it have to take a group or a member of another group to find this out? And your book been out since what, a year and a half or last year? Did he warn the people and say, hey, I plagiarized some pages from another person's book? Was he warned? No. If we didn't never bring it up, or the team didn't never bring it up, it wouldn't have never been brought up. It would have never been brought up. Now, from my history of being an Amon Ra squad in the past, we didn't tolerate that. We didn't tolerate that. You know, but it's, you know, it's politics going on. If you wrote something and you knew you did it, why did it have to take all the way to a year and a half for you to say, hey, I plagiarized it, I got my hands up? Truth is truth. It is what it is. So, I mean, if we never brought it up, it would have never came up. That's all I'm saying. So I don't agree with it.
Definitely. So okay. So all right, my brother Wudjau, let's say it, he's a plagiarist, but a plagiarist that has tried to change and try to edit everything to make it be okay. I want to know, okay, you know what, to safeguard ourselves, our community. You know what, I'm saying this. I want to say this, you know, because I'm kind of concerned. I'm kind of concerned right now because in academia there's something called peer review, where before you actually publish works, your peer group actually, you know what, has the ability to read and to highlight any concerns that they may possibly have. I want to know, why wasn't, or was there a sharing of information when Wudjau actually wrote this first edition? Was there sharing of information amongst his peer group? Okay, this is the Amun-Ra squad and other affiliate members. You know, I know my brother Asai Mahotep is a close friend to Wudjau. Was this information shared with the Amun-Ra squad members? And if so, were they complicit in allowing this book to actually reach the masses, even though it was plagiarized?
Listen.
And I want to know, should we now as a community hold ourselves responsible that there should be a peer system where we should actually review each other's work? I know personally from my brother, the Magi, Jonathan Owens, before he actually published his book, he had it in the PDF form. He had the book all set and ready. You know, he sent me certain chapters to actually review the work. You know, to let me know if it was okay, if there was any, you know, he asked me my, you know, advice based upon the Arabic and other things within inside of the Egyptian culture, and I gave him my, you know, my recommendations, my review of it. I told him there was grammatical mistakes, spelling mistakes, whether, you know, certain references to use within inside of the book and so forth. So I want to know, was that same, you know what, review done within inside of the Amun-Ra squad and the affiliate members? And if so, why weren't they able or capable of actually alerting the fact that, no, this book isn't ready for print? I know my brother Neche Neb as well. He's another brother who's got his own research facility himself. You know, he constantly, we constantly speak, and you know, information, you know, works that he's writing up articles that he's gonna actually put inside of his book. You know what, he reaches out to me, he sends me information, we review stuff, and I'm like, yo, you know what, you are heavy. Like, this information is sick. I'm not even capable of actually reviewing this work myself, but it is, from what I've seen, it is on point. So I want to know, you know, like, we see that amongst the brothers. Like, I've seen the brothers reach out to me. Even Neche Neb said, you know what, before he was about to release his book to the market, but he had to pull it back because it wasn't on point. So I want to know, like, where was the peer system? Where was the squad members involved to actually aid and assist this brother before putting out this book to the public, and even stigmatizing and giving the community as well as the Amun-Ra squad a terrible name of plagiarism and literary thief? Is there a system of peer review in Amun-Ra squad, Brother Ngozi, Brother Ahmed?
Let me just say this. I would never call the Amun-Ra squad plagiarist, because the Amun-Ra squad don't get down like that. First of all, we have to understand that Wudjau is a late bloomer in Amun-Ra squad. Wudjau became a member of Amun-Ra squad a year and a half ago. That's not that long. And no one in Amun-Ra squad had any knowing of that. Jonathan Owens is not a plagiarizer. Sinjetti's not a plagiarizer. The brother Netanyahu been around for a minute too, and he don't do that either. That's not the type of quality of research that the Amun-Ra squad did. Now, do Brother Wudjau know Metal Netta? I acknowledge that brother's intelligent. I acknowledge it that he does understand it, because I bear witness to him in Atlanta deciphering Metal Netta. I'm not saying he know it fluently, but he know enough to teach. But what I'm saying is, he was not a member of Amun-Ra squad during the time when this book was released. He was working on that book probably before he became a member. So the Amun-Ra squad, was they aware of it? That's not even Amun-Ra squad style. I'm sure most of them just found out just like we did. Like, I just stopped being a member of Amun-Ra squad, what, 3 months ago? 3 months ago. No one was aware of it. So, I mean, truth is truth. Again, that's how we doing it. That's how we drawing.
You know what, now the real question I would like to know, you know what is, you know what, I've spoken to Wudjau. You know, I think he's a fair brother. He's a fair brother. I don't know, you know what, in the terms of plagiarism, was he willfully trying to deceive the people into believing that the works that presented in his book was actually his and not other authors' works? I don't know. Was he willfully trying to deceive people? Even now, you know, there is supposedly a second edition out, supposedly out. But on the Amazon website, there is a first edition that is showing. There's a 2015 edition showing. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you've changed this since 2016, you've made the changes since 2016, why is the first edition still being sold? You know what? From January 5th of January 2016, I believe. Okay, don't quote me on this. Please go back and check it up on his previous video. if it's from that time period, okay, the 5th of January, we're now in August, 8 months later, why is the first edition still being sold with the plagiarism still present? And why, you know, I want to know that, like, why is it still being sold if it's still being sold? I'm not actually accusing him of still selling this plagiarized copy of the book, but I want to know, why is it still being sold, and why are you trying to pass it off that it is actually the new edition, and so forth. So please, somebody help me out. I really would love for somebody who's got the second edition of the book, who's bought the book recently, to say, yes, I have the second edition of the book. My brother is an upright person, as he's presented himself to be throughout the years. I want somebody to present me the second edition live on air to say, yes, let's vindicate our brother. I want to prove my brother Ma'akhiru. I want to prove him right and true. And I want to be on the side that says, you know what, my brother simply made a mistake. He was highly zealous. You know what, it's his very first book. He wanted to get it out into the market, just like Shaka Ahmos. Shaka Ahmos wanted to get his book out into the public, and our brother, you know, Jonathan Owens shot it up several times because it was, in his eyes, sloppy scholarship. There wasn't any referencing, etc., etc., etc. I want to know, you know what, was it just an honest mistake, or should other brothers be shooting up this book because it is simply plagiarism? I really want to believe. Hold on, I really want to believe that, you know what, my brother simply made a mistake, and there is a second edition out there, and other people have actually read the second edition and benefited from it, and have got the apology, you know, of the mistakes, and he has highlighted and alerted everybody who's bought the first edition that, you know what, there is actually a second edition with all of the errors and all of the referencing that's not there is actually present in the second edition. That's what I really want to know.
Brother Kalam.
Go ahead.
Brother Wudjau is not a bad guy. But when you say did he have intentions or was it a mistake, you have to premeditate and observe, bear witness to what you're looking at before you report it. He looked at it, concentrated on what he was going to use, and placed it in there. Do you think at the moment he was writing, he say, hey, this is a mistake? His focus was to use a whole page. He didn't use a few words. He used more than 7 words. So how was that a mistake? And then it was still sold. And if no one ever brought this up, it would have never came out. So how was it a mistake? It's a mistake now. Do we forgive him? Of course. My brother Wudjau is an intelligent brother. But we won't expect that to come out of him. That's just a fact.
Yeah, I want to say something, man, and I appreciate that, Ngozi. But, you know, all of us at Team Osiris, we have our own opinions. We're not, you know, wind-up dolls where one person say one thing and everybody say the same thing. You know, truth is truth, and sometimes truth hurts. Now, when Shaka Amos was getting slammed for his book, when Zion Lex was getting slammed for his book, it was cool. When it was okay to pick on a Hebrew and okay to pick on a Moor, it was cool. But when the chicken come home to roost, now it's a problem. Now why is it black on black? It was always black on black. See, that's what got to be understood here. See, when we go into the laws, I'm gonna show something. And you know, I don't want to take up too much time, but we're talking about the ISBN number. Let me educate everybody on what an ISBN number is. And then we're going to go into copyright. An ISBN, it stands for International Standard Book Number. It's a 13-digit number, and it's used as a unique identifier for books. And that ISBN number is used internationally. So that gives you a unique distinction of the work that you've done. And so why do you need an ISBN? Well, you need them to identify each book that is published and each edition of the same book. So now here's my first question. I'm not going to accuse, I'm going to ask. Who's the publisher company for this book? Who's the publisher? That's my first question. My second question behind that is who's the editor? Because not only do you have peer review, you should have an editor to edit your work that you're publishing to maintain your integrity. And your publisher is going to check the book because it has to be assigned an ISBN number. So if you get a book an ISBN number along with a copyright, you are certifying that this is a unique work. Should you get an ISBN? If you plan to sell your book in a bookstore, you should. If you're going to put it in a library or any online retailer, you're going to need an ISBN. Henceforth, Amazon.com. If somebody say, well, Wudjau, you can go to my site now and get the second edition. Yes, you can. But guess what? You didn't pull the first edition. It's still up there for sale. So you're still getting paid for plagiarized material because it's got a price tag on it, as the operator stated. Now, let me ask this much. If you get an ISBN, doesn't mean it's copywritten. No, it don't mean that. Because see, an ISBN is administered by a private company for the use of international book trade. Copyright is administered by the Library of Congress. That's who does that. So you ask yourself this, can an ISBN be reused? No. Once an ISBN is signed to a book, an ISBN can never be reused. It's a unique identifier. So with that being said, Brother Kalam, I'm going to move as quickly as I possibly can. As quickly as I can.
Hold on, real quickly. I just want to, you just brought up a point about the ISBNs and copyrights and so forth. I want to know, can this book truly be copyrighted if it has information that is classified as plagiarized? I want to know that. Can you actually copyright plagiarized work? Because if he's got a copyright, surely the work can't be plagiarized.
Correct. So, you're not going to copyright something and say, and put an ISBN on top of it. So you basically saying, man, I'm certified that this is what it is. It wasn't a mistake. I didn't overlook it. It wasn't my first book. I knew exactly what I was doing when I put an ISBN on that book and then turn around and get it copywritten twice. Not one time, but you then turn back and copywritten it in the second edition twice. Now, what you didn't realize is what the brother Chris eloquently stated in the first, second, and third edition of Middle Egyptian by James P. Allen. Each ISBN is different. You heard what I said, Kalam? Each ISBN is different. So let's see something right here. Let's dance. Let's dance. Let's dance. I love dancing, Kalam. I love the two-step. See this right here? This first edition. ISBN -13 978-069 2411-407. ISBN -10 069 2411 402. Right? Exhibit 2. Let's see if I can find it because I got so many pictures here. We're going to be fair today. You're going to learn today, Kalam. I'm going to teach you something. If we look at the bottom left, which is high, it's really illegible. I don't know what kind of picture this was, but if you look at the bottom left, you see in the dark font, this is second, this says first edition. This is Wudjau's hand on his show yesterday, so that we're being fair. You can barely read out these numbers. They're illegible. It's funny how all the other numbers are, but it's the same exact numbers that I just read off.
Yeah, if you want somebody to read them, I can see them.
Go right ahead, brother. If you can make it out, I can't. Go right ahead.
All right. Yeah, for the first edition, ISBN 13. You moved it. Hold on.
I forgot I could do that. So then let me work that out. I forgot. I don't think I can move it though. I thought I could move it, but no, I can't. Go ahead, brother. I thought I could like move the picture.
Okay. Okay. It's ISBN 13 978 0692 411 407, and the second one is ISBN 10, and it's 0692 411 402.
All right. Now we go to evidence number 3, the second edition. Right? Now this is the disclaimer that he put about James P. Allen. Right? I want to make sure that he was flowing and he was making it clear. This is his same hand with his locks. It says second edition. What does that number say? Because I can't read it. What that number say, Brother Melvin? Can you read it?
Yes, I can read that. It does
Hold
say.
on, I'm sorry. Go right ahead.
All right, it does say. All right, yeah, it does say second edition on this one. The number is ISBN 13 978 06 92411 407 and ISBN 10 at the bottom 06 92411 402.
Same number as the first edition. But the ISBN number is a unique number for each book.
It is the same number.
Same number. But you saying you got a unique piece of work here. So now let's go right here.
Hey, Consu, what I find funny is, again, mind you, you'll be able to watch this whole video, but James P. Allen had 3 different editions of his book. All ISBN numbers are different. Different for the paperback and different for the hardback. Why is this book the miraculous exception in the world? You know, I wonder why.
On the first edition, thank you, brother.
Real quickly, brother Consu, 1 second. Again, I have to say this. I have to say this every single show. If you are enjoying the information that you're receiving so far, please let us know. Give us a big thumbs up and let us know that you're actually enjoying the information. If you've learned something today, give us a big thumbs up. If it's powerful information, give us a big thumbs up. If you have, if your thought process or your perspective on certain things in the community has changed, give us a big thumbs up. Let us know that you're actually liking the information, and please interact with us. I want some interaction. If you would like to be on the panel, let me know. If you're in the UK and you want my personal phone number to come on, let me know, and I'm going to get you onto the show. Trust and believe that, okay? So please give us a big like if you're loving the information so far. If you're just new to Talk with the Titans, we have tons of shows coming on every single week. We have shows from Brother Polite, shows from Irritated Genie, shows from the Amun Ra Squad, Anka Kek, Asayim Hotep, Team Osiris, Brother Konsu, Brother, what's his name? Brother Benjamin on Freemasonry, all sorts. We have so many different shows popping off here on Talk with the Titans. You know what? This is a platform for you people who are actually, how can I say it? If you've got a curious mind and you like information and you want to learn something new and you want to push the boundaries of your comfort zone, this is the show for you. If you're a Hebrew, Muslim, Moor, Jew, Kemet, whatever the case is, atheist, agnostic, whatever the case is, this is the show for you, because you're going to get a varied perspective of ideas, of people, of backgrounds that is completely going to change and rock your world right about now. So right now we've got my brothers going in. I don't even want to take it away from you guys, but I just needed to plug the show and I needed to let everybody know to please give us a big thumbs up if you're enjoying it. So go back straight back in. Kill him, King.
Yeah, that's what it is, B. So we got the same ISBN number on 2 different books that are told a different edition. You just broke the law right there, because it's a unique identifier. Look up what an ISBN is. Now you got the same number. Now what I want y'all else to see, what I want everybody else to see, copyrighted right here, 2015 by Mr. Ma'at. So this book is copywritten. So is the other book he mentioned yesterday, his second edition, copywritten. Brother Kufu, are you there?
Peace, fam.
Yeah, you can see my screen, right? Could you help me with this copyright.gov? This is a .gov site. This is the government site for all copyrights through the Library of Congress.
Okay,
how do I use this?
Yeah, just search records.
Okay, what do I type in, sir?
I still see that. No, not at the top of the screen, but at one of the square blocks down below. It says you should be able to search records.
Yes, sir, I got it. Yes, sir. All right.
Yeah, post 1978 records.
Oh, I'm sorry, I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so just click on that, yeah, and you could, as you can see, you could search for, below that you could change what you're actually searching for. So you could search for the title of the book, you could search for the name, the author, or you could use a keyword, either way. So whichever you choose to type in there. What is that you typing in?
Typed in his first name, nothing.
Put in keyword.
I'm sorry.
Keyword under that selection. Type keyword. Select keyword.
Okay, so I can just put in the keyword, right?
Yeah. So when if you whatever you put in that first selection, you said you put Wudjau in.
Yeah, put his name in right there.
Okay. So under the next one, just click on keyword, and then search. Then highlight keyword, and yeah, nothing's coming up.
Hold on.
Yeah, keyword.
Yes, sir.
Is anything coming up?
No.
Okay, you can go back and you can try the title of the book.
Can somebody recite the title because I don't know about her?
If I'm not mistaken, it's a beginner's introduction to meta nature.
METEW or MEDEW?
MEDEW, yeah. And Netcher, NETCHER, I believe.
Make sure I spell it right. And keyword correct or title?
Hold on, you gotta get Medu right. And Metsu.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
For Heru, this is how you spell it, just to be accurate.
Yes, MEDEWNETCHER.
And that is that a title? Should I put the title?
That
Should I
actually
search
is the title.
Yes,
A
put the title.
beginner's introduction to meta nature.
You should be able to find it like that because there's no other book that has that title like that. Trust me, I know. Trust me.
So nothing came up.
Nothing came up.
You could actually try. You could try Netcher. Let's try the keyword Netcher and see if that brings it up. NETCHER and keyword.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what? Forgive me. I did the other ones wrong. I got to go back and do that because I hit the wrong button. These
Did
are the
anything
books.
come up?
These are the books with Netcher. Yes. These
Do
are
you
the
see
books.
his book anywhere there?
No, sir.
Okay.
So I'm going to go back because I want to be fair because I did hit the wrong button. Hit that search again. Nothing. No results. I'll put Wudjau
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
Wudjau, I want to be fair. Keyword.
Okay, so
Also, really quickly, also type name.
I've just got an update. I've just got.
So let's just show that you can pull that up and find another book. Let's try to search Diop.
Hold on a second.
Oh, what do you have, Kalam? Or I don't know who's presenting. Yeah, you could type in Diop, D-I-O-P. I believe that's how you spell his name, under name, and click under name or keyword or
Do you
And
see
he's all the names with you.
do you see Shake Entity up anywhere?
I
Okay,
see.
I've just got an update from brother Wudjau on another show, and he's basically stated that basically stated that Amazon actually doesn't update the fact that the book has a second edition, and hence the reason why the 2015 number or 2015 date is being shown, and hold on real quickly. That's why the 2015 date is being shown for one, and you know what? There's no need for a change of an ISBN number because it's not a new publication.
That is
He's
a
also
lie. That's a
he's
lie.
also stated that if anybody orders a book, they will receive the new second edition 2016 edition. So this is going to be, I would love to actually see this, and I would love to, hold that my brother is not telling a lie. He's actually true of voice. I really want to hold on to that. I really want to hold on to that. I really want to hold on to that idea. So far there is conflicting evidence to that. It could quite possibly be Amazon is mispromoting, misrepresenting brother Wudjau's work in the sense that it's showing the 2015 rather than the 2016 updated information. When we go in to look into the book right here, let me just actually share my screen right now for our audience members real quickly so you lot can see what I'm seeing. When you actually go in to look at brother Wudjau's work, a beginner's introduction to Medu Neter, the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphic system, as you can clearly see, it says paperback 24th March 2015. I really do want our people to actually support our authors. Our authors have put in a deal of time, research, and effort to actually produce these books, and resources, money to actually produce these books as well. So as you can see here, if we scroll down, it's copyrighted material. It says copyrighted 2015, all rights reserved. It says it's the first edition and it has the ISBN number. So this is the information that's presented on Amazon currently right now. But our brother Wudjau is stating that basically if you order it, it will be the second edition. I hope it is actually the second edition, and I really want to know from our audience members as well who's ordered it within the last week, 2 weeks, months, even within the last 8 months. I want to know, have you received the second edition that says second edition when you turn to the first page and says 2016? But obviously Amazon is actually promoting the 2015 edition, is promoting the first edition on the website. I'm just hoping that it's just a misrepresentation from Amazon, and our brother has actually got the second edition out for sale and out on Amazon. But I don't personally know, so please don't ask me. I don't personally know. I'm thinking, I like to hold my brothers in to say that they're men of honor. I hope that he is a man of honor, so I definitely do want to hold him in that respect, in that regard. But that's what he's saying, basically, that the second edition is actually out. If you purchase right now, you will receive the 2006 second edition. But again, please, audience members, interaction. If you've ordered the book in the last 8 months, or if you're going to order it, please give us an update today. If you've already got the book in the last 8 months, or a few days from now, let us know, and we could post up and talk with the Titans, and we can vindicate our brother for actually having the second edition, or we can simply say our brother is actually still, practicing to deceive. And I hope it's the former rather than the latter. Over to you, my brothers. Please continue.
I do have a statement that possibly can be questioned by the panel as well as the audience. Per your words, he said that he stated that with the second edition, you don't need to renew the ISBN number or have a separate ISBN number. And that brings up a question to me, because I read various books that have multiple editions or even revised editions, and automatically, they change the ISBN number so they can specify which book is being talked about or being classified. I think Brother Chris also mentioned that James P. Allen has 3 volumes of his book, and all 3 have separate ISBN numbers. So it kind of begs the question why one would not need to if these other authors have done so. It just sparks up a question that, me, I pay very keen attention to detail, and it just raises up a red flag. It's something for the audience to ponder on, possibly question. I would love for him to question it. I would also like for the audience to, by all means, get the book and, show support. It's just a question that I have. Why would, you not need to if the various authors who have done so and have multiple verses use different ISBN numbers?
Hey, Brother Melvin. I find this funny, and I want everyone in the chat room. I see everybody talking a lot of stuff, talking a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But again, you guys are based off emotion and opinion. We're dealing with evidence and facts, observation. You tell me why. Show me a book besides your community, besides your team. Show me a book that has been updated from, or a revised edition from the other that has the same exact ISBN number. Please. I'll be waiting. We will all be waiting. Because I'm going to tell you now, you're not going to get on shows and break down people's character because you can't deal with information. You're not going to sit there and try to promote and make money off of your own people. That it's done. It is done. You know what I'm saying? So show me any revised edition or a second edition of any book that has the same ISBN number, and it's not a book that is written by your own community. You got 24 hours. Show me.
Yeah, I totally welcome that. I'm sure the entire team totally welcome that. We definitely love to have that learning experience. Brother Kansu, you can continue.
Yes, I'm just patiently listening, and I want to say this to the listening audience. It's about common sense, and it's about application. And I'm listening to or reading some of the comments in the side chat, and I think that the listeners deserve to know exactly what goes on in our circles. And I think we have to be transparent, and I think we have to be held accountable. All of us. Nobody's above error. I can make errors. I can make mistakes. These things happen. But what is wrong is when you do it at another person's expense. Okay, that's a totally different situation here. When you do it at someone's expense. See, I contacted Amazon Live on air, and I asked the operator. I don't know that operator. And that operator says, I can't find the second edition. So if you call and they're automatically sending the second edition, why isn't it cached? Ask a logical question. He says, no, I see similar books, but I don't see anything outside of the original book. And I said, well, it's online. And then when I click on it, it says first edition. I said, well, that's what's available. So why would they not pull the first edition of a copyrighted book to offer the second edition? Why would they not update their site? Show me any other books that are not updated on Amazon.com. Show me that. Show me these books that for some reason Amazon doesn't update their websites. It isn't about that. Sometimes you just got to say, man, I was wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. More empirical data. Just a review. We're doing the show. We wanted to settle it live in front of everybody. We wanted to settle this because we wanted something positive. We didn't want it to be. However, the latter chose to do a show simultaneously at the same time. And this time, right now, they're in the next show slandering myself and anyone else who's talking about this. I knew when I did this that I was going to be in danger. I knew that somebody was going to attempt to attack me personally and start saying things about me. When I started networking with other black people, like our Hebrew Israelites, I've gone to various Hebrew Israelites, had to apologize for us getting beyond just a normal debate. I had to be a man about it. All of us at Team Osiris had to be held accountable. At first, we thought this would be just a discourse, but now we see it's much more personal. Very much more personal. So we said, let's take it to the next step. Let's show empirical data. And that's what we did. We didn't change the ISBN numbers on this book. We didn't change the laws for ISBN numbers. We didn't change the laws for plagiarism. If I read it, and because of time, I'm not going to keep just sharing screen back and forth, but I will read this. From plagiarism.org, you're able to look at it. If you look through Wudjau's book, he has a total of 360 pages, some odd pages, maybe one or two more. And out of that, he only has 14 references out of all those pages. And within the second edition, he cites James P. Allen. Now he does. And he puts a disclaimer page in there. However, there is a term that is synonymous with plagiarism. It is called fair use. And the United States government has established rough guidelines for determining the nature of amount of work that may be borrowed. So if every other page is an ibid, you saw page after page after page with Chris of word for word, word for word, word for word, word for word. How much of this 300 pages is your original work, where your perspective is shown? And how much is it a carbon copy of someone that's already done the work? So fair use, are you using it fairly or overabundantly? Not to mention, you admitted you didn't cite it in the first one. Now that you corrected it, you didn't change the wording. You're still using all of Allen's work throughout your book, repeatedly, repeatedly, and repeatedly.
Consul,
so there's a fair use law. There's a fair use law that you have to follow in the guidelines of plagiarism. So there are many more things to argue and disseminate about the book. And we were willing to have an open discussion. So I took a live screenshot to show you simultaneously that a show was done out of the thin air. Let's do a show. After Kalam invites us to come and talk to Team Osiris, we're going to do a show. And the show's going to be about Scheme Osiris. And we're going to talk about Team Osiris, and then we're going to diatribe, but we're not going to get into the book. They're over there talking about conjecture. We're talking about the book.
Consul, can I show the qualification of James P. Allen and who he is? Because again, this is the person that Wudjau plagiarized from. So can we all become familiar with who this individual is?
Sure. I'll digress.
Yes, and after you, I'd like to share something as well. Brother Chris, your mic is muted.
James P. Allen. James P. Allen received his PhD from the University of Chicago before joining Brown in 2007. Professor Allen was an epigrapher with the University of Chicago's Epigraphic Survey, Cairo director of the American Research Center in Egypt. He wasn't in Egypt on a vacation. He wasn't there as a tourist. He was doing work. And a curator of Egyptian art at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. From 2008 to 2015, he was president of the International Association of Egyptologists. You can see his work. He doesn't just deal with Egyptian. He deals with Assyrian works. This is funny. James P. Allen is actually one of the only people that is reconstructing Old Egyptian and Archaic Egyptian, which those grammars do not currently exist, which he's in the process of making it real. Now, I'm not speculating. I'm giving my observations and my opinion. Brother Melvin, you can go into what you're doing. I'm going to unshare my screen.
Okay, Brother Chris, while you were sharing, his qualification information, I was going to Amazon, and anybody can do this, and zoom in here. All right, so I was going to Amazon, and I went to find, what were the ISBN numbers, because some people on the chat had some questions. So these are all three of James P. Allen's books. Anyone can go on Amazon right now and just type in Middle Egyptian literature, and you see that all three of his books have different ISBN numbers. This is from Amazon. I can give you the links if you need be, but this is proof that if you're going to put up multiple versions of a book, you're going to want to have different ISBN numbers to identify the particular book that you are trying to promote or sell. So if you're going to promote a similar book, even if it's a revised edition, it's technically a different book. So to be technical, I wanted to share this and show this to the people to show that this is not a personal thing. This is just business. And this is how you conduct business properly and fairly, as well as honestly. And I think we're judging based off of dishonest work. And I think people that are taking it personally are not observing that. And that's all I really wanted to share. And you can definitely see this for yourself. I don't even have to really speak these numbers out. You can obviously see the difference. And that's all I really had to say.
Yes, sir. I wanted to kind of digress the floor to Brother Ngozi. We're not going to keep beating a dead horse. The empirical evidence is out there. You see the ISBN numbers. Everyone is free to look. It's up. It's not for us to claim anything but facts. You can't put an ISBN number on the same book. He called Kalam and told him that. He knew already that he could have came here and said that live. If he could talk to Kalam where he at, he can come talk to him here. If you ready to show and prove live. We right here waiting. But you didn't. You chose to tell Kalam.
No.
You turned down the invitation twice.
Real quickly.
Regardless, and this is and I want to be fair. I want to be fair and objective because we all did not say Wudjau was not qualified. Nobody ever said that. What we're saying is your copyright don't exist, Wudjau. We looked you up on the Library of Congress live. Your copyright don't exist. Your ISBN numbers are duplicates. We looked it up and showed it live. We didn't just say it, we showed it. You never showed the book side by side, not one time. Through that whole presentation, not one time did you put up James P. Allen's work and put up your work. So we had to do it for you. So it is what it is. You talk about scholarship, you hold people accountable for it, and then you upset when the rabbit got the gun and the rabbit know how to read. Now you're upset. So I digress the floor to Brother Ngozi.
There you go. Real quickly. What I would like to know, I want to know, because I want to poll our audience right now. Was Wudjau's work plagiarism? Yes or no? If Wudjau is a plagiarist, please type 1 or type yes. If you say no, if you think no, please type 2 or just write no. I want to know. I want to poll our audience right now, live on air, based upon the information that we've received. Now, I'm not going to lie. The information that's been produced right now is very convincing. And so far we're getting it in right now. So far we're getting it in. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, no, 2, no, 2, 1, 1, yes, yes, not sure, 1, yes, yes, 1, 2, yes, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Boy, it's going on and 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 on. So right now there is a majority yes, and there is some people that are saying no. So the majority is yes, and some are saying no. I just simply want to know, if I don't know if anybody here goes to college or university, if you turned in that book that Wudjau produced into the Turnitin system. The Turnitin system is a system that literally reads the information digitally, and it sources everywhere from publications, published works, and it tells you how much percentage of your work is being copied from somewhere else, and it tells you, if you ain't got no references, it says plagiarized. If the majority of your work is coming from secondary sources or sources that's already there, other publications, and the majority of your work is that, even if it's cited, you're still going to be held as a plagiarist, or that work is still going to get a U on classified. So I want to know, based upon academic standards, is he a plagiarist? Based on the conscious community standards, I guess we are forgiven. We are definitely forgiven. The brother puts his hand up and acknowledges that he's a plagiarist. He says he accidentally plagiarized. So I don't think there is any doubts about whether Wudjau is a plagiarist, yes or no. The only thing we can possibly say is give him mercy, because he has put up his hands to say he's accidentally done it. But at the same time, our brothers is producing evidence and information to say he's still practicing some form of deception. He's still, things are just not tallying up about the ISBN number. Things are still not tallying up about the Amazon in the second edition. Things are still not tallying up in terms of copyright. Because even if your first edition was copyrighted, as it states actually on the Amazon and inside of your book, it can't possibly be copyrighted, because the information is clearly unreferenced. It clearly goes beyond fair usage in terms of the secondary sources that you've been using. And we can't find your name, your publication, actually on the copywriting services for the United States. So, is there still some type of deception being practiced? I guess that's the kind of cloud that's being overshadowed here. I don't know. You lot let me know what's going on. What are your thoughts? And we're literally going to be coming to the very close of the show. So I'm going to hand it over to our brothers right now, because we're literally reaching the last 5 minutes of the show. And I definitely do want our brothers, Wudjau, the Amun Ra squad, Uncle Kek, whoever else, who's been very vocal, to come on to the show and talk to us. We definitely want to hear both sides of the argument. We definitely think it's only befitting for our audience members. Our audience members both love Team Osiris, both love Amun Ra squad, both support both camps and love both camps. And I think it's only fair that our brothers actually come on and actually answer these accusations live on air with the other side accompanying. I think it's a bit it could get very drawn out if it's just one camp, second camp, one camp, second camp, videos, on and on and on. Let's just get everybody together, man. We're all family out here. Let's get everybody together. We're not slandering anybody. It's not libel. It's nothing like that. We're literally doing scholarship. We're literally criticizing and critiquing, publications. There is nothing wrong with that. We're not banging on each other. We're not hating each other. We don't have no personal grievances. Definitely from, over here on this side, I don't have no personal grievance with anybody on Team Osiris or on Amun Ra squad. I don't have any personal grievance with the work itself, because I personally, I can't even say I've read the work, so I don't have a grievance with it. I'm coming from a completely objective state of mind, and I definitely do want our audience who's in the same state of mind as well to get further information. I definitely want to get further information. Our brothers from Team Osiris is not banging on anybody, it's not hating on anybody. I think it's only fair that you actually come on the show and actually give our audience members what they've been waiting for. They want to hear you speak, Wudjau. They want to hear you speak. They want you to clarify the situation. They want, once you've clarified the situation, if our brothers have something in opposition to what you have said, can we get it clarified here and then? Otherwise, it just simply seems as though one side is running away and hoping that the issue just simply fades away. I don't know. So please, if you can, come on, man, come on, because I'm supporting you. Our audience members are supporting you, and I think it's only right that you come on and support all of us who has your best interests at heart. But if not, I understand. I understand you don't want to, and I don't know what the reason possibly is. Maybe you simply think that we're not worth it. Those of us who buy your books may not be worth it. Those of us who support you may not be worth it. I don't know what it is, man. Hopefully you come on and actually give us some information and clear up this misunderstanding, and let's get it in, man. Let's get it in. But brothers, which we're literally reaching the last few minutes of the show, so please, if you can, go in, and then we're gonna close up, and hopefully by that time our brothers either say they're gonna come on or say they're not coming on.
Brother Kalam, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, give it
Yeah.
real quick, Chris. Let brother Amir. Yeah, so he wanted to drop something real quick.
Well, I apologize, brother Amir. I apologize.
That's peace. I just want to get this record. I want to put this out there for the record. It's people that's saying that, you know, Team Osiris is going to sink and Team Osiris is going to be destroyed. And I'm here to tell you, as long as I breathe, being me, I'm not shutting up. Team Osiris ain't going to sink. People going to pick who they want to pick, and they're going to deal with who they want to deal with. It's been people that's been around Team Osiris that had secret agendas or hidden agendas the whole time. And this ain't no shot for Armin Ra Squad. Because to be honest with you, I ain't got nothing but respect for Brother Unc. But Unc already know how I feel about certain people in the group. It's been going on for a long time. And it's been people that's been in Team Osiris that has no good agenda and no true good intention. It's all about pretending. They got their own personal agendas. So a lot of people want to assassinate Team Osiris' character. And to be honest with y'all, I'm letting y'all know this. It ain't that serious to me. It's not that serious to Ngozi. You can't assassinate me. I'm like water. I want y'all to know that. You can't hold me. You can't contain me. You can't do nothing to my team because this is not my life. I don't run around here depending on views. I don't run around here depending on people that like Ngozi. I don't care. I'm not even really into being in the spotlight like that. I don't care. I'm a real human being doing real things. Ain't no A side or B side to this because all of us in the same situation. If a person can't show people to get out the situation, ain't no A side or B side to it. I don't care if you Hebrew, Kemetic, or whatever term you call yourself. We all come from the same place, and we all going through the same challenges. So all that pretending stuff, and I don't like this person because this person is that, I don't care if you don't like me. And I'm being real. Team Osiris ain't going nowhere. As long as you got somebody or a member of me talking, Team Osiris is birthed by me. One soul infinitely resurrected in spirit. And I'm being real. It's a lot of fake people out there, and I'm learning about people's character. This conscious community ain't no different than a project situation. Social experiment for me. Same people, they just the same. Let me just say this, and I'm not cursing, Kalam. It's the same niggas that just picked up a book and read it. They got the same mentalities. What really are they doing? They get off. I mean, if you really think that you can wake up in the morning and say, I got a new idea and I read a book, I'm better than you, but you're still in the same situation, what's wrong with you? I know Christians and Muslims that got their life together better than the people in the conscious community. Seriously. They doing more for the community than the conscious community. I don't see Kemetic people screaming Hotep standing on corners when people going through trials and tribulation of people dying. This is going downhill. You know, it's going downhill. It's always been downhill. And I'm starting to look at it like it's for people that, you know, I'm not even going to go there. But what I'm saying is that Ngozi ain't going nowhere. Team Osiris ain't going nowhere. Ain't nobody sinking nothing. I got a right and my team got a right to have their personal views. Period. They got a right to say what they feel. And that's just 100.
Yeah, I think Brother Chris wanted to say something. If you're still there.
Yeah, I do actually. And I want to show my face. And we're going to be clear on something. All you people call me a white boy. I'm a mulatto. Both my parents are black. Cut it out. Stop it. Deal with my information. Deal with what I'm bringing. Stop it. I bet any of you 5,000, any amount of money, prove to me that I'm a mulatto. You can't do it. So just stop it in the chat. Stop the BS. We're dealing with academia. We're dealing with people that are people that are actually stealing money from people in the community. If I buy a plagiarized book for $50, that's money that could go to my children. Money that could go to my nieces or nephews. Or money that could go and be attributed to actual places where I would get the correct information. So all you in the back chat, stop playing games. Call me mulatto, and I'm done with all y'all. I'm 100% fully black. I may be like 85%, but both my parents are black. So cut it out. And I want to thank you know, Brother Kalam, Talk of the Titans, Titans TV, Team Osiris, Team Aset, and no respect to any team beyond that. I'm done with all y'all. Period. And thank you again, Kalam. Thank you, brother.
Kalam, I do want to say this in my closing. Most people think that this is a beef that we have between Amara Squad and Team Osiris, and that's far from that. This isn't a beef. If people can remember when Shaka released his book, and the squad went at his book and eventually shot it up into arrows, but they showed the inconsistencies in his book, they showed the flaws in his book, and most people who saw that happen, they laughed or they enjoyed it, but they don't realize that the situation we have right now is a very, very similar situation. We're just criticizing material, and I think people who criticize others' materials, but then when their work gets criticized, they can't handle that. That shows a dishonest agenda to me, because it's saying that the very construct upon which you built, this scholarship and this checking other people's work, Amara Squad has done this. There's examples of them doing it, and the fact that they can't take their own criticism from a peer. I like to think that we're peers of Team Amara Squad, and I think that the people need to understand that this isn't personal. It's never been personal, and it's just strictly business. And I think for anyone who is honest about their material, they should at least acknowledge the criticisms and not deal with the personal attacks. And what you hear a lot of now on this show right now is personal attacks. People going through the inboxes, people swearing people's names, people calling people all types of racial indications, practicing colorism. This is not what we do. This is, to us, that is very disrespectful, but we know it comes with the charge of the game. We know what's going to happen when we criticize our own brothers' works. And we just charge it to the game and keep it moving. And I think the people need to understand that this is not beef. It's just criticizing information.
Hey, Brother Melvin.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to cut your wisdom. I want to say something right quick.
No, I was done. Go ahead.
Anybody that feels that they have a problem with Ngozi, don't pretend. When I open my Facebook page back up, unfriend me. I'm not pretending with none of you Vicks. I'm being real. I'm not pretending with none of you Vicks. You're not. A lot of y'all not even built like that, man, on a real level. You know what I'm saying? And you want to say, disrespect Team Osiris and F these niggas. I've been saying F a lot of you Vicks. You're Vicks to me. I mean that. And I mean what I'm saying. So, I'm not going to see you people, the crazy stuff people talking. You ain't coming to my city. You don't got no ties with real people in this city. So, all that crazy stuff people talking, I don't care. Y'all just running your mouth. Real shit. And, and this is not, like I said, it ain't no issues with Unc riding for his team like he's supposed to. He's supposed to ride with Amara Squad. Whether it's right or wrong, that's what he's supposed to do. And I'm supposed to ride with mine. That's what stuff is about. So this ain't no diss to him, but the people that's surrounding, that's instigating a lot of stuff, pretending like they cool, stay the hell away from me. I'm being real. This ain't what you want, and I'm telling you, this ain't what you want. Check people's background before you play games with people. Because I've been around a lot of you. People ain't even built like that for real. Pretending, and I ain't sneak dissing. I try to be real respectful to people because people be respectful to me. But you're not going to go around here low-key dissing my squad, saying we this, we that, and F, and all this disrespectful stuff. I'm not tolerating it, yo. I'm not tolerating it, period.
Yep, and I appreciate that, Brother Ngozi. And this is a charged up moment because we took it took a lot for us to really agree amongst each other that we was gonna come out here and speak on these kind of things. It took a lot because even in the Amon-Ra Squad matrix, let me make this clear. Amon-Ra Squad matrix is the lineage into Team Osiris. Team Osiris was birthed out of Amon-Ra Squad. A lot of people saw publicly a misunderstanding between me and Ankh, and I still have a misunderstanding. And the reason why it went that way is because we cannot allow ourselves to disrespect or demean a person based on just their knowledge. Because a finite set of knowledge, that's all it is. When it comes down to scholarship, there's nothing wrong with debate. But when it's time for you to be scrutinized, either accept it or not. It's not, and what's funny is, those that are hovering around this Amiran Squad matrix, most of you just whores. You're groupies. You don't have no pedigree. You just riding along on the school bus. And wherever they drop you off is where you at. So, like the brother in Ngozi said, Ankh is doing what he's supposed to do. Ankh helped build it. But the people around them, they're not real. They're not. We're not doing lectures and charging people $45 at the door. We can't write them. You know how long it takes to write a book? We can't come out with a book every year. That's hard work. So we research and we learn and we develop. Eventually one of us may put out a book, but we're not authors. Everybody has a divine assignment. Everybody doesn't have to write a book to be credible. Everybody doesn't have to write a peer review article from their cousins peer reviewing their stuff. Everybody don't have to do that. So cut that propaganda garbage. It's real people trying to figure out real solutions because we're getting hit with real bullets. When I made, and I'm still friends, shout out to Zion Lex, shout out to Nasi, shout out to LeBron G Consciousness, shout out to Basim, shout out to Michael Edwards, shout out to Mikael Ben Yisrael here in Chicago, shout out to Alvin Elmore here in Chicago, shout out to Prince Asiel on 75th in Chicago. It's no fight. We're not fighting like that. We family. The problem is misguided information and people fighting over crumbs. I have a full-time means of employment, so this isn't my means of employment. I don't have to peddle nothing in the community. I don't need the community to give me their hard-earned dollars. I can do this for free and still be good. We all functioning adults on Team Osiris. We full functioning people, self-governed people. So cut that BS, man. Cut it. You can try it. You can keep coming with the slander. It ain't changing shit. It ain't gonna do nothing but make us stronger. We revolutionaries. We tired of it, man. We tired of the games. Dr. Sabi passes away. You got to charge to go honor him. Them games. If you don't like it, you just got to deal with it. You in the public. You're gonna be criticized. Just like I will. I know I'm gonna take heat. I'm built tough like that though. So that's what it is. Team Osiris on the horizon, man. Peace.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Team Osiris on the horizon. Listen, you know what? This has been a very, informative, intriguing show so far. I can't wait to hear what people have to say afterwards. I definitely do want to hear your voice. So please, 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 please leave your comments down below. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to know what you think about Wudjau's book. I want to know if you have actually purchased the book itself as well. And we're definitely going to go in. We're definitely going to get back into the shows as well. So look forward to Wednesday's show with Lord Abba doing a response against Shaka Ahmos. We're going to have so much different shows coming up in the future. So please, please, please stay tuned as well. Check out our Speakers Corner section as well. Check out the Speakers Corner section where we have debates going on, Muslims, Christians, Jews, atheists, also chemists, all sorts going on. So please check out the channel, subscribe down below, and of course we're definitely going to have to do I think we may just have to do a follow-up show because I want to hear what everybody else is saying, okay? So yeah, I'm going to literally sign out right now. We've had Team Osiris on, giving us a lengthy exposition on the book called what is the book called? A Beginner's Introduction to Meta-Nature, the Ancient Egyptian Hieroglyph System by the author Wudjau Men Iri Ma'at. It's getting late over here. So I'm going to sign out right now. And please hit me up on Facebook, Talk with the Titans group, or on my personal page, Kalam SPL. All right. So I'm signing out now. Peace to everybody.